What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. It's Andy. Oh, well, are you not happy to see me? Oh, shut your mouth. You had great days Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What, do you expect to have good days? I've told people here, even when I started on this channel, if I go 2 for 3 on a night, you'll see me here the next day. If I go 3 for 3, I'll be at the pool at the Bellagio and there will be no video. Same thing goes for the week. If I'm winning Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, guess who's going out Thursday night? Me. So just consider yourself lucky that I actually picked wrong in a few games. But in all honesty, I really wouldn't have changed any of my picks on those 4 games that I gave. Maybe Edmonton, that's the only one, but as I told you yesterday, either Edmonton's going to go up early and then be able to pull away. If they're up at the end of the first, they're going to win the game, which is why I would have taken that bet. Or they're going to fall behind and a crusty defensive Tortorella team is going to make life miserable on them, sit back and then just counter and try to build on their lead, which is exactly what they did. But I'm not taking away from Edmonton, by the way. They quickly, I'll give them a few more games, are going to go right back into scam territory with me, where they'll never be able to truly elevate if they don't give 2 rats' asses about defense and protecting their bad goaltending. You can have a bad goalie. Look at what Vegas did during the postseason last year, but you have to commit to team defense in front of him, even if you have a ton of skilled players. But those other games, the other 3 games, 3 one-goal games where either team could have won those games. We came out on the right side of 1, wrong side of 2. Buffalo could have just as easily won that game as Calgary did, tied in the third period. Calgary ended up getting the goal, and that was the end of it. But they were all coin flip situations. Hey, sometimes that's just good hockey. It was good, close hockey in all those games, and we just fell on the wrong side of 2 of them. But the good news is, as I teased earlier in the week, we have a bet that I love on Friday. I told you earlier in the week, the New York Islanders, I like them to beat Arizona. That was one of my favorite bets. I said, and then we're going to bet against them. I'll turn my back on anybody. I'm not like Stevie Bong Rips. I'm super happy for him. And man, Stevie, are you getting some time on this channel or what? But that guy wouldn't bet against the Red Wings once in his life. They could be playing the Avalanche of 2 years ago in Colorado, who stampeded everybody, and he's going, no, 100% chance Red Wings are winning. 100% chance. That's not me. I'm the biggest Islander fan there is, but when it comes to sports betting, it's like compartmentalized. The reason that I like the Devils is because the Islanders had 2 so-so efforts, but found themselves on the right side of them. They were tied 2-2 in the third with the Sabres, blew a couple leads in that game, ended up winning it, and then they beat Arizona, who was on the second of a back-to-back. And the efforts were okay. But on the other side, we have the Devils, who are going to be coming out flying because they're coming off back-to-back losses. Their coach kind of ripped them, worked them hard in practice. They've been resting, just waiting to get on the ice. And they are a young, fast, skilled team. And do you want to know who's not that? The New York Islanders. So I really think this is a good time to take the Devils. And the good news, no, not too dissimilar from the NFL when I say, hey, if you really like someone, don't bet on them this week. Hope they have a bad week, get a better price on them next week, and then take an over on receiving yards or whatnot. We're a couple games into this season. You think these teams are all too different than what we thought they were like a week ago? No, but because the Devils are coming off an overtime loss and another loss, and the Islanders have 2 crusty wins, we're getting the Devils at like minus 120, which is a great price. You think it would have been that if this was night 1? No, I don't think so. I think the Devils would have been bigger favorites. Absolutely. So the Devils, to me, are a great pick. I'll go with the Devils in this one. And I have this weird theory. This one is really more on the lines of conspiracy theories. And maybe I'll delve into this later on my Pickin' Corners with Andy show, which you can find on my YouTube channel. What show on his YouTube? You see the description of this video, the best bets with Andy? Click the blue Andy Francis. That will take you to my YouTube channel. Subscribe there, and you'll see Pickin' Corners. And it's a longer form show that I do on Friday nights, and I can go into some of my obscure theories. Like, I'll talk about it later, but it's called the Ruckus Theory. On Friday nights, on weekend nights, I believe games are more likely to go over opposed to like midweek nights. there's a semi-conspiracy theory about it. But this could be one of those games where, it's the Islanders. They're a 3-2, a 1-0. They're always defensive. They have Sorokin. I'll never take it. This might be a weird one that actually finds its way over. So I do not have a strong feeling you can call that a side sniff, that there will be more goals in that one that one might think. And there's only one other game on this slate, and that is the Calgary Flames right after they played Buffalo, and they're going to play Columbus, who I guess is just on a big, long homestand. Now, there's one very interesting factor to me when it comes to this game, and that's last night, Calgary played Vladar, so we're going to be getting Jacob Markstrom, who's, a pretty good goalie. A couple of years ago, he was considered one of the best. And the reason I find that interesting is because typically, if you're on the second half of a back-to-back, as we did when we bet against the Arizona Coyotes after they played the Rangers, we bet against them when they played the Islanders the next night. I don't care how bad your team is. If you're at home and another team played the night before and then they're traveling to you and playing in your building, I usually like to take that team. The one wrinkle here is you also usually get the backup in the second half of back-to-back nights. Like, I expected Markstrom to get the game last night and then Vladar to get the game tonight. So we're actually getting the better goalie. So we got the better goalie for Calgary. Calgary probably starting out slow. A Columbus team who has struggled scoring in 2 of their 3 games. I'm leaning towards under 6.5 on this one. And I think that might even be close to plus money. I think that could potentially be a good bet, especially if Calgary comes out slow, try to play a little more defensive. And we know Columbus has not been lighting the score sheet other than that one game against the Rangers where they were able to score a bunch. But even, I guess, the Predators did that last night. So maybe that's not saying a whole lot at this point. So I think I'm going to go on the under. And as far as the sides go, I'd much rather take a plus 1.5 home dog against a team who played last night, especially like a team. This is not the Avalanche or the Dallas Stars we're talking about here. We're talking about the Calgary Flames, who lost to Washington of all teams. So I would take plus 1.5. Just like, hey, look, when you think you have a semi-read, kind of like that Detroit game the other night, it's better to be safe than sorry. And I do want to tell you, don't be like, okay, he said plus 1.5 and then under 6.5. I'm going to combine those. If you do that, you're an absolute donkey. Why am I a donkey? Because just run the math in your head. If you're taking a plus 1.5, what scores, because you have them, you can lose by 1 and be okay, will you cover? 2-1, 3-2, and 4-3 goes over. Never take a plus 1.5 with a 6.5 total. Either go under 5.5, which is going to be crazy plus money, or take the under 7.5. You want to leave yourself the wiggle. You don't need that unnecessary extra goal. That extra goal with 6.5 will never have you cover anything. So either go one way or the other. It's when you take the favorite by the puck line. If you want to combine a total, you can do 6.5. So if you take, for example, if you're taking that Bruins versus the Sharks, I think it's going to be low scoring. Bruins going to cover a puck line. You take Bruins minus 1.5 under 6.5 because it can be 3-2. You can get the empty netter and that will keep you under. But the polar opposite applies to plus 1.5. So remember that. If you're combining puck lines with totals, if you're taking the favorite on the puck line, do the under 6.5. If you're taking the underdog on the puck line, do either 5.5 or 7.5. Just some sniffing lessons for you early NHL bettors who are, learning your first sniffs. This is your first go around, your first season of running these bets out there. So that is what I got for you here on this Friday night. But that there's plenty of other things for you to enjoy. Number one, Francis and Friends. What's that? It's another one of my shows here on the Odd Shopper channel where I bring in other guests, some from Odd Shopper, some I'm going to bring on from outside Odd Shopper. You get bets, tomfoolery, fun, and a little warm-up before the weekend of sports betting. Maybe I'll talk about UFC. I think I'm going to talk about that UFC card, maybe some of that. But also, maybe I'll bring up some hockey. We're going to talk all sports. It's a raving good time, so come check that out Friday afternoons on Odd Shopper. Then we have My show that I do on Friday nights called Pickin' Corners. You can find that on my YouTube channel. But Andy, where's your YouTube channel? Do you see the description of this video that says Andy's Best Bets? Well, my name is Blue. Click my name, which is in blue, at Andy Francis. That will take you to my YouTube channel, and then it will be there. So that's where you can catch Pickin' Corners. I also am going to have my Sunday NFL Best Bets here on OddsShopper. I feel like I'm Stephen A. Smith. I'm on every single show and platform.
Why don't you have on a tie today?
A tie?
Where's the tie?
Stephen A., I own one suit.
Where's the tie?
What is this, divorce court?
Well, whatever. If you guys are enjoying, you got plenty to watch in this next day or so. Anyway, good luck to you. Better luck to me. If you haven't taken advantage, this is going to be the last chance I'm going to give you, because I'm swapping it out. Last chance saloon, as they say when you play soccer. Bet 365. If you want $150 in free bets, go register over there if you're a new user. If you're from the US, there's a link for you. If you're from Canada, there's a link for you. And if you're from other miscellaneous international areas, there's also a link for you. But if you are from the US, it's not in every state, so make sure it's in your state. You got to be over 21. And if you have a gambling problem, or somebody you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Somebody will be there to help you out. I'll be back with you guys on Monday to talk about my favorite NHL bets. For then, hopefully, I will see you guys in the comments of all these other shows that I'll be doing today. All right, everybody, take it easy.